Hey, good morning. Welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun Talina, and today we're doing Hilchos Beis HaKnesses, Simon Kufnon, page 152 in Orach Chaim. There's only one halacha. The halacha is, it's mentioned in the Gemara in Baba Basra, the Gemara in Megillah. You're not supposed to destroy a shul unless you already built a new one. Meaning, you can't, even if you want to use the same lot, the same place where the shul was, you can't destroy it and then build right away. Because, as the Shulchan Aruch says, maybe an onus will happen and you won't build a new one. Even if you have all the money collected for a new one, you might have to do pidyon shvuyim, the poskim say. I think she quotes the Gemara says, you have pidyon shvuyim, you have to give the money away for pidyon shvuyim, for ransom. You're not going to be able to build a new shul. Now, the question over here is whether, is a consideration you're not going to build a new shul, or that it's going to take a long time to build a new shul. Eventually, you can build a new shul. There's a machlokas over here in the Magen Ram and the Taz. What if you have other shuls in the neighborhood, right? You can daven there. The whole reason is you're not going to have a shul, right? Maybe you won't build a new shul, but what are your other shuls? Taz says, no problem. Go daven to other shuls. You can destroy it and build a new one in its place. Magen Avram says, no, you can't. Now, what's the svar of the Magen Avram? A lot of Arishonim hold like the Magen Avram. Doesn't make any sense, the Magen Avram. The point is, you're not going to have a shul, or you're not going to have a shul to daven it, but you have, so. Also, the halacha doesn't make sense. It's because the reason should be because right now I don't have a shul. If we're talking about a case like Taz says, there's only one shul over here. You can't destroy a new shul without having another shul because you're not going to have a shul to daven now. One of the foundations of a community is to have a shul to daven. Now you're not supposed to daven the backyard minyanim. Only during COVID daven at those backyard minyanim, the porch minyanim here in Israel. You don't daven during there. You're supposed to have a Beis HaKnesses. So what's going on over here? So it seems to me, like I said before and yesterday, in Tolina, on the Beis HaKnesses is not talking about a shul. There's many shuls in neighborhoods, unfortunately. I don't believe there should be, but unfortunately there's many shuls in neighborhoods. One is being rebuilt. You can daven in another shul. There's no problem with that. And a lot of times it's not fair. You know, even if you only have one shul in the neighborhood, you only have one place to build. You want to expand the shul. You want to build a new shul. So you have no other place to build it. You don't have no other land. You have to purchase a new land to build a new shul first. You want to build it in the same place. You want to destroy it and build it in a new place. So Shamanas live knows. I think it's okay with a shul. We're talking about over here a municipality or Beis HaKnesses, like from the Knesset, the parliament, the Israeli parliament, any lawmaking body in a city, a county, a municipality, there's generally only one place where they make the laws. And here, right, there's a concept of Congress, leave of Congress, where they have, some people say that half the year off. There's always a leave of Congress. But even though they have time off, right, you can't delay forever. That's what the halacha is over here, that you have to have a new one built, because if you rebuild the other one, if you knock down the other one, even if you can have a leave of Congress for 2 months or something like that, maybe an will happen. Not that it won't be rebuilt. It will be rebuilt. You need a place to make laws. However, it will take a long time to rebuild, and you won't have the proper place to convene. It's very hard to make laws unless you have a good decorum. You have a proper place where people are comfortable and they can discuss things openly. It's very important to have a place like that to convene and to make laws. Maybe even more than a Beis Medrash. It doesn't say the halacha about a Beis Medrash. Beis Medrash, I mentioned yesterday, is a library, a place to study. People technically can study it private in their home. People have private libraries, or they can borrow things from other people. However, convening with other people is more important, right? Law enforcement, law making, not enforcement. Law making has to be done by a group of people, right? It's not just one person making all the laws. It's the entire assembly, the city council, or whatever we're talking about. They have to meet, have a place to meet together. They can't meet in their houses. There's distractions in the houses. They need this place. So they might have a leave of Congress, but they're going to come back. So you can't delay. The problem is delaying, not where it's not going to be built. It's going to be built. The question is whether you can delay building it, and it's very important for people to convene. A Beis Medrash, you can learn privately in your house. You don't do it together with other people necessarily. Libraries, people don't talk. They don't have chavrusas in libraries. People think chavrusa means, it's essential. Chavrusa means you learn with another person. Our modern day conception of chavrusa. And the Gemara says people who learn bad b'bad, they learn by themselves, they're tipshin. You have to understand, chavrusa means like the sefer chavrusa. There's a sefer chavrusa nowadays they have, where it gives you a translation in Hebrew. They have the Mesifta, they have chavrusa, they have art scroll. That's what it means. Learning bad b'bad is when you're learning just the Hebrew from the Gemara. Even if you're learning with a chavrusa, you're learning with another person. right? That's learning bod b'bod. That's learning. You're like a stalk. It's like a bod is a stalk of a plant. Without the leaves, without the fruits. You can't understand it if you just look at a Gemara without a translation. If you know Hebrew better, you take a Hebrew translation. You know English better, you take an English translation. People say art scroll is a terrible thing. It's a crutch. That's what I heard in the beginning. When I started learning, I exclusively used art scroll because I didn't know the translations of the word. Why should I go through that jastro, the stupid jastro, the ancient translations? I have to look through hundreds, thousands of pages. Or a person apparently wasn't from jastro. You're allowed to use it for the word, not allowed to whatever. An art scroll right there on the page has the translations. I wrote the translation, the words, into my Gemara. For like 5 different Maseches I did that. And I picked up the Aramaic by myself. No one taught it to me. I did the easiest call. Why not do it the easiest way possible? Why do you have to make our life complicated? So that's what Bad means. You're using the stalk of the plant without having the flowers, without having the leaves, right? You can't get a proper translation of a lot of Aramaic words without using an art scroll. You have to use the art scroll. You have to use that. You don't have to learn with another person. That's not what we're talking about. That's not Chavrusa is. Chavrusa is to learn with a translation over there. If you learn with the Chavrusa and you learn straight from the words of the Aramaic Gemara, and both of you don't know the explanation, that's like learning Bad. You're learning without the flowers, the leaves, basic growth of the plant, the beauty of the plant. The beauty of the Torah is only found through understanding it properly, understanding the nuances of the words and the intricacies of the words, because so the details of the Gemara make the halachas so much more exact and meaningful. So like I said, a base medrash doesn't need another person over the library. You don't talk to other people, even chavrusas. So a base medrash, there's no problem to destroy one base medrash, even though the second one's not built. Beit HaKnesses is where you gather together to make laws that you have to be more careful to make sure that another one is built. Because usually, Mataz and Magarom it's not applicable because there's only one place where they convene. You don't have multiple places where they convene. You don't have multiple municipalities in one town or city councils in one city. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.